Hello, everybody. Welcome out once again. I think I got a little echo on my mic, but I'm not sure. But anyway, welcome to Wayne's World. Got a new background. My phone went ding. I'm trying to figure out what happened. Messengers, and don't care nothing about that. So get rid of it and delete. Okay. Now we're back to normal. Okay. Hope everybody's had a good week. It is Thursday night, June 15th of 2023. Tonight, we are going to talk about none other than the Iron Sheik. He passed away the 7th of June, 2023, this month, about a week ago. I got to meet him one time before and really seemed like a really, really nice guy. I met him back in 82, and I was about, I don't know, 14 years old, something like that. Sort of scared me, to be honest with you. Um, he was very, very intimidating when he wrestled. I think it was Lawler back in '82. But anyway, we've got a video coming up of him where I think it was Lance Russell and Jimmy Hart was with him from the Channel 5, if I'm not mistaken, back in '82. Also got the bio on him. We'll do that later on tonight, right here. Also, I've got an article pulled up over here that somebody sent me, and I do appreciate. Let me go ahead and change over where I can see my chat. Hey, Thomas. Hey, PJ. All the way over in Thailand. I'm glad to see you. Anyway, I'm glad to see both of you. I got a third person watching, and everybody's watching on Wayne's World. Good. I get to see all the chat. That works. Anyway, I've got an article that I don't know if I can get my screen to share or not. Let me see if I can figure this out. No, that's not it. There's a way to share the screen, but I can't remember how to do it. I haven't played with that part yet. Anyway, I'm going to read the article real quick, and it is on the Iron Sheik and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Um, One of the guys that I'm a friend with here on Facebook, and I don't remember what else, maybe Twitter or YouTube, I can't remember. He contacted me and said, because I asked a question, when I made my post on Facebook and stuff, is if you had any questions or anything that you'd like to comment, you would like to be a guest, I'll be more than glad to have you. All you got to do is let me know. Hey, Gregory White, I'm just sitting here talking about you. Anyway, Gregory had sent me article, and he also sent me a video, a link to both of them. And I'd never heard that story. The video I'm not going to show. It has Greg the Hammer on it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just I didn't want to do the video. But however, I did get the article, and I've got it over here on my other screen. And I really wished I could remember how to share the screen on this, but I can't remember how to do it. Oh, there. Wait a minute. There's one. Let me try this side and see if this works. There we go. Right here. All right. Now it should pop up over here on the side, I think. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. I'm gonna bring it up, and this is gonna be full screen, I think. Um, well, you can't really see it. I wonder if I can scroll on it. No, I can't scroll on it either. So I would have to scroll over here. There we go. Okay. Anyway, it is from the AP News. I'm going to take this back off as soon as I can figure out how to do it. And we're going to take that off. And that's that. Boom. Now I'm going to remove that source. Okay. Okay. I learned something new. Anyway, I'm going to read this article real quick. It's a real short article. Can everybody hear me okay? I'm taking it that you can. Because I ain't heard nobody complaining yet. If you hear an echo or anything like that, let me know so I can back up so I ain't so loud. This is from AP News. It was Middletown, New Jersey. It says two professional wrestlers have been suspended by the World Wrestling Federation after being charged with drug possessions by the state police. Thank you, PJ and Thomas. By state police, a federation spokesman said. Now, I find that a little odd. The spokesman wasn't named who it was. Okay, the wrestlers, known professionally as Hacksaw and Iron Sheik, and portrayed as arch enemies. Now, think about this. back a long time ago, the good guys and bad guys were not allowed to ride together or be seen together. Um, Again, this is like 82 or 83, something like I think like 83. Um, anyway, um, this is saying that they were seen together or caught together. The wrestlers known portrayed as arch enemies in the ring were arrested Tuesday on the Garden State Parkway by a trooper who said he saw Hacksaw drinking beer and stopped their car. Funny story on that, real quick. I'm gonna stop right there. Me and Vicky went down to one of the casinos, and I can understand how something like this may have happened. There was a sheriff's car or maybe a police department. I can't remember. It may have even been the Mississippi Highway Patrol. I can't remember. It's been too long ago. Anyway, we was going down to one of the casinos to see Bill Cosby, and I had a couple of beers before I left the house. I wanted to have a good time, and wasn't nothing wrong with that. I wasn't driving, so we yes, cocaine. Yes, that's the story I'm fixing to tell, Thomas. Anyway, he was probably, I don't know, several hundred feet away. Had somebody pulled over on the other side, and I took a drink off my beer. And of course, the sun is beaming in, and it sort of flashed, and it caught his attention. And long story short, he pulled me over. So I can understand how something like that happened. If drinking and you raise up and they see the can, quite naturally, if they're close enough. Okay. Anyway, we're going to get back to the thing. Hacksaw drinking beer and stopped their car. The trooper also checked luggage in the car and found 3 grams of cocaine in bags belonging to Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik, whose real name is Hussein Basari, 44, of Fayetteville, Georgia, was released on $5,000 bail. Hacksaw, whose name is James Dugan, 33, of Pinesville, Louisiana, was released on his own recognizance. Now, I find this um, not racial. What's the word I'm looking for? Bias. Bias is the word. Dugan, or Duggan, however you want to pronounce his name, was charged with possession of less than 25 grams of marijuana and having open alcohol in his car. State Police Lieutenant Thomas Gallagher. Missouri was charged with possession of less than 25 grams of marijuana and possession of cocaine, which is an indictable offense, he said. They are scheduled to appear June 1st, hearing in Middletown Township Municipal Court, Gallagher said. The wrestlers were driving to an event in Asbury Park, State Police said. Michael Weber, a spokesman for the Stamford, Connecticut based WWF. Now, they named him, but they didn't name the other guy. Um, I found that funny. And it may be the same guy that was doing the report to start off with when they suspended them. Anyway, said Wednesday both wrestlers were suspended indefinitely pending an investigation of the charges. State Police Sergeant Andrew Cavalier said Dugan was really polite and cooperative. In the ring, as Hacksaw, he has a law and order image. He is also the son of Glen Falls, New York Police Chief James Dugan. Now, with that being said, now I'm going to close this out because I don't need that anymore. Ta-da. With that being said, I find that a little biased. However, he just had marijuana. So, I mean, I can sort of see that. But anyway, we're going to do a video here very, very, very shortly. And how do you know about this, Thomas? And I don't. I can't believe that. We're going to go ahead and start in on him. Then I am going to show a video of when he debuted in Memphis on TV. And unfortunately, it's not the um, very beginning of the interview. And it sort of breaks in, and it lasts for a second. Actually, it lasts longer than that. I'm trying to separate my paperwork here. Okay. I've seen it on TV when it happened. It was on my MTV News. Damn, even MTV? Wow. Well, you probably know what year it was then. Ain't that something? Isn't that special? Oh, before we get into this, I use, excuse me, Why is my camera all blurry? It wasn't blurry a second ago. My glasses mess up. Why is my camera all blurry? Oh, there it went. I need to get another camera, I guess. Anyway, something that I thought was very, very interesting. I use the Adobe Suites when I do my graphics, and like the one right here behind me, I did on my phone at work, actually. Um, anyway, they had like a little survey thing. They wanted me to fill out and this, that, and the other on the product and this, that, and the other. So I did. And anyway, they invited me to do a web seminar cast with their development um, team that they have for Adobe Photoshop, which I thought was pretty cool. That'll be next Wednesday. Of course, nobody will be able to see it but me. But I thought it was really interesting that they chose me to talk to them about their product. They've got some new things coming out. Of course, I use all kind of stuff. I use 4 or 5 different apps that they've got. But anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. It is different. I'm a little nervous about it. Some of the stuff that I have learned is basically just playing with it. Can't really say I understand it, but that's one of the things I'm going to talk to them about because some things I don't understand, I don't know how to use in Photoshop. They've got a thing where you can remove the background and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was real cool. Anyway, we are going to go ahead and get started in on this, and I am going to maximize that picture. Now, if you notice, I have the background right here behind it, behind the picture. I did make that. I thought that was pretty cool. Also, another interesting fact: the flag, not this particular flag, but one of the other flags that he carried. I think Lawler drew something on it when he came through Memphis, and that was the same flag that he used throughout his career. Anyway, thought that was very interesting. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and get into it. I got 4 people watching. Who's watching on the other one? Everybody's on Wayne's World. Cool. I love it. All right, the Iron Sheik, who sang Crossrow Ali Bazari. Born March 15th, 1942, he passed away June 7th, 2023, better known by his ring name, the Iron Sheik. He was an Iranian professional wrestler, amateur wrestler, and actor. He was the only Iranian champion in WWE history, having won the WWF World Heavyweight Championship in 1983. The villainous character peaked during the 1980s WWF wrestling boom, and his rivalry with Hulk Hogan turned Hogan into one of the greatest television heroes of the decade. He later formed a tag team with Nikolai Volkov, which won the WWF Tag Team Championships at the inaugural WrestleMania event. In 2005, he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Now I'm going to switch pictures, and we're going to go to this one. That ain't the best picture in the world, but it's what I got. Anyway, a heel throughout the 1980s, Sheik later gained popularity on Kid Chris, the Howard Stern Show, and the internet due to his shoot interviews, vulgar language, and apparent intense dislike for some of his fellow professional wrestlers, particularly Hogan and Brian Blair. However, the true nature of his relationship with Hogan has been a subject of debate. Early life in amateur wrestling, Crossrow was born on September 9th, 1942, and this one of them things, PJ, it's hard to say. Damgan, Iran, and grew up in a working class family which had little money and no running water. Although his passport read March 15th, he celebrated his birthday on September 9th due to his family alternating between the Gregorian calendar and their solar. That's one of them words I can't pronunciate. Hari calendar. In his youth, I'm sorry, I find that funny. I'm sure PJ's probably laughing too. Anyway, in his youth, he idolized Iranian Olympic gold medalist wrestler. There's another one of them names. Gold Morizi Takhadi. I guess. I ain't sure how to pronounce his name. And he subsequently made a name for himself as an amateur wrestler. He also worked as a bodyguard for Shah Muhammad Reza Pahlavi and his family for several years. Now, I thought he was, I heard a story that he's a bodyguard for somebody else. I don't remember that name. But anyway, Khosrow competed for a spot on Iran's Greco-Roman wrestling team for the 1968 Summer Olympics in Mexico City. He then moved to the United States and became the assistant coach of two U.S. Olympic squads in the 1970s. In 1971, he was the Amateur Athlete Union Greco-Roman Wrestling Champion and gold medalist at 180.5 pounds. He later became assistant coach to the USA team for the 1972 Olympics game in Munich. I think that's in Germany. His professional wrestling early career, 1972 through 79. In 1972, Khosrow was invited to become a professional wrestler by promoter Vern Gagne. Again, there's that name, Vern Gagne. I'm going to switch pictures on me again, and we're going to go to that one. That's the same flag. I think that's the one Lawler did. And if you look on the background, that's the same picture I've got. Let me go back. Okay. He was invited by promoter cross. Okay. Make sure I don't lose myself. I did. I'm rereading stuff. Or am I? Okay, that's where I was at. Khosrow was invited to become a professional wrestler by promoter Vern Gagne. Khosrow trained at Gagne's wrestling camp under trainer Billy Robinson in the same class as Ric Flair, and then wrestled for Gagne's American Wrestling Association, the AWA. He also worked as a trainer, teaching Ricky Steamboat, Greg Gagne, and Jim Brunzell. Khosrow first wrestled as a face in preliminary matches before a promoter suggested that he adopt a heel gimmick similar to that of the notorious Sheik. Khosrow obliged and adopted what came to be his signature look. He shaved his head bald, grew a traditional buffo-style mustache, added wrestling boots with the toe curled up, a nod to his ethnic background, which according to Khosrow was an idea from Jimmy Snuka. He also introduced the Persian clubs, a sport in his native Iran, and challenged wrestlers to do as many swings as him. His Iranian gimmick received attention due to the event of the Iranian Revolution. Taking the name the Great Hussein Arab, he won his first title, the Canadian Tag Team Championship, with a partner, the Texas Outlaw. He wrestled in Japan against the likes of Steve Day and Antonio Inoki in 1978. Now, for those of you that know about the Persian clubs, those weigh about 75 pounds apiece each. They're not light. I found that information. I thought that was pretty interesting. In 1979, he caught the eye of the World Wrestling Federation, the WWF, where he made his debut in 1979 and won the first ever Battle Royal in Madison Square Gardens, New York City. This earned him a title shot at then champion Bob Backlund, who pinned him later that night in a 30-minute battle. He later feuded with Chief Jay Strongbow and Bruno Sammartino before leaving in 1980. Jim Crockett Promotions, 1980-81. In April of 1980, Vazari began wrestling for the Charlotte, North Carolina-based Jim Crockett Promotions. He wrestled a handful of matches as Hussein Arab before settling on the Iron Sheik. His villainous persona played upon topical events such as the Iran hostage crisis. He quickly began feuding with Jim Brunzell over the NWA Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship, defeating him for the championship in May of 1980. He successfully defended the championship in bouts with opponents including Brunzell, Sweet Ebony Diamond, and Johnny Weaver before losing to Ricky Steamboat in a Falls Count Anywhere match in November of 1980. In February of 1981, Bizarre began feuding with Blackjack Mulligan. The two men faced one another in a series of bouts, including cage matches and Texas street fights, lasting until May of 1981. In July of 1981, Bizarre unsuccessfully challenged Dusty Rhodes for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Bizarre left Jim Crockett Promotions in August of 1981. In 81-82, he was in Mid-South Wrestling. In September 1981, Bizarre joined the Louisiana-based Mid-South promotion. He left the promotion in January of 1982, making brief returns in October of 1982. And also in 82, he wrestled in Florida for Championship Wrestling. In January of 1982, Bizarre joined Championship Wrestling from Florida. He left the promotion at the end of February of 1982. He wasn't there long. Georgia Championship Wrestling. In 1982, July, Bizarre returned to Georgia Championship Wrestling for the first time since 1974. In May of 1983, he won a tournament for the vacant NWA National Television Championship. His reign lasted until July of 1983 when he lost to Ronnie Garvin. Bizarre left the promotion the following month. Returned to the WWF 1983, 1987, 1988. WWF World Heavyweight Champion from 83 to 84. The Iron Sheik returned to the WWF in 1983 and challenged Bob Backlund for the World Champion. Lost it. I hate when that happens. Bob Backlund, World Heavyweight Championship again. Backlund accepted on this December 24th episode of All American Wrestling. Also accepted Sheik's weekly Persian Club Challenge. He was successful in his third attempt to swing the clubs, and the Sheik immediately attacked him from behind, injuring his neck. In the December 26th title bout at Madison Square Garden, Backlund attempted to roll Sheik into a bridge pin, but this aggravated his weakened neck. Sheik capitalized by applying the camel clutch chin lock finisher. Backlund didn't submit, but his concerned manager, Arnold Scanlon, threw in the towel and forfeited the championship. Pretty interesting. And there's another picture. And 2 days, let's see. The Iron Sheik rematched Backlund indecisively at house shows and primarily defended the title against Chief Jay Strongbow, as well as Pat Patterson and Salvatore Bellomo. On national TV, he defeated only jobbers, but wrestled Tito Santana on a live Prism broadcast from the Spectrum in Philadelphia, January 21st, 1984. This match was later included in WWE's Legends of Wrestling 3 compilation. 2 days later at Madison Square Garden, the Iron Sheik was scheduled to rematch Backlund, who was replaced by Hulk Hogan. 5 minutes in, Sheik had Hogan locked in the camel clutch. Hogan powered to his feet with Sheik still on his back, rammed him backward into the turnbuckle, and hit his atomic leg drop for the pin and the championship. This moment is generally considered the launch of Hulkamania, according to the Iron Sheik. Gagne had offered him $100,000 to break Hogan's leg during the match in return to the AWA with the WWF title. Then Gagne's son, Greg Gagne, has disputed that claim. He bitterly feuded with Sergeant Slaughter, winning a few matches by disqualification, but losing the rest by pinfall or submission, including Boot Camp Rules match. Thought that was pretty interesting. And we're going to go to this one. I'm going to change the picture on again. I like that picture. Teaming with Nikolai Volkov in 1985 through 1987. As a tag team partner with Nikolai Volkov and under the management of Classy Freddie Blassie, they won the WWF Tag Team Championships from the U.S. Express Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo at the first WrestleMania at Madison Square Gardens, where he knocked out Windham from behind with Blassie's cane. Part of their pair's regular entrance consisted of waving the flags of Iran and the Soviet Union, then demanding that the crowd be quiet and show respect, while Volkov sang a throaty version of the Soviet national anthem, a, a demand that usually only attracted boos from the usually pro American crowds. Sheik then usually grabbed the mic and said, Iran number one, Russia number one, USA and Canada, followed by a stimulating spitting act. It was all designed very successfully to get major heat from the crowd. He also got heat in the interviews with Mean Gene by concluding with the demand, hey, cameraman, zoom in, as he flexed his muscles. During his stint in the WWF, he appeared in the music video for Cyndi Lauper's Goonies Are Good Enough as part of the Rock and Wrestling Connection. The Iron Sheik character was also seen regularly on CBS animated series Hulk Hogan Rock and Wrestling, where he was voiced by American actor Aaron Kincaid. During 1986, Fred Blassie was beginning to wind down his career as part of the Angle, eventually sold his wrestlers' contracts to new WWF manager Slick before retiring. This included the Sheik and Nikolai Volkov, who would now be managed by the Doctor of Style. The Sheik was a participant in the 20-man Invitational Battle Royal in Chicago portion of WrestleMania 2, which saw 14 WWF superstars in the ring with 6 National Football League players, the NFL. The Sheik was the 13th participant eliminated at 5 minutes 22 seconds by Bruno Sammartino. Now I'm going to switch pictures again, and we're going to go to this one. Let me go back and close all these off so I don't mess up and hit them again. Okay, now there we go. I got one picture left. Arrest and departure in 1987. Again, this leads to the same story that Gregory White sent me, and I do appreciate that. Anytime somebody out there has anything they would like to say or do or send me, please do. You can email me at gregwayne1@hotmail.com or send me a message on the messenger, and I'll be sure I'll respond. And I do appreciate it. I do want to say thank you to Gregory. All right, arrest and departure in 1987. In May of 1987, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, an on-screen rival, and Kosroff were pulled over by New Jersey State Police on their way to a WWF event. Suspecting Duggan, or Dugan, however you want to pronounce his name, of DUI. After a search of the vehicle and the persons, police discovered that Dugan was under the influence of marijuana while the Sheik was high on cocaine. Small amounts of cocaine were also found in the vehicle. Dugan received a conditional release while the Sheik was placed on probation for a year. The mini scandal that erupted after 2 in-ring enemies were found drinking and doing drugs together led to the end of the Angle. The Sheik's release and Duggan's temporary departure from the WWF. At the time, the Sheik and Volkov were embroiled in a feud with the patriotic Dugan. Before the Sheik's release from the company, he and Volkov had defeated the Killer Bees, Jumpin' Jim Brazil, and Brian B. Blair by disqualification at WrestleMania 3 in front of 93,173 people at the Pontiac Silverdome, when Dugan had hit the Sheik from behind with his 2x4 piece of wood, while he had Brunzell in the camel clutch. After Sheik's arrest, he worked in house shows against Jim Dugan until leaving the WWF in October of 1987. His second return on February 18th of 1988, the Iron Sheik returned to the WWF and defeated S.D. Jones on a house show at the Meadowlands Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Sheik continued to wrestle on house shows in February and March, beating Lanny Poffo and Ken Patera and losing to Bam Bam Bigelow. He would not appear on television until July 30th, when he defeated Scott Casey in a match that aired on Primetime Wrestling. Sheik continued to wrestle that summer, facing Casey in rematches, as well as Richard Charlin and the Red Rooster in house shows in the States and Canada. During his matches, comments were regularly made about the Iron Sheik's weight gain and diminishing mobility. Iron Sheik had also cut promos to challenge then world champion Macho Man Randy Savage, but nothing came of it. Ultimately, the return was short lived. He left again in July of that year. WCCW, AWA, and WWC in 1989, 87 to 89. In 1987, the Iron Sheik competed in Dallas World Class Championship Wrestling, the WCCW, where he feuded with Matt Bourne over the WCWA Texas Heavyweight Championship. He stayed with that organization for only a few months, followed by brief stints with the AWA, where he attacked Sergeant Slaughter during a match in Puerto Rico's World Wrestling Council, the WWC. In addition to reigniting his feud with Slaughter and teaming with Colonel De Beers, his main opponent during the time period was Tony Atlas, with whom he feuded in both WCCW and WWC. World Championship Wrestling 89 through 91. On February 21st or 25th, 1989, the Iron Sheik made a surprise appearance at the World Championship Wrestling WCW TV taping in Atlanta, Georgia, and immediately challenged Ricky Steamboat. On April 11th, he challenged Sting at a television taping to a Persian Club's swinging competition. Now, remember, them things weigh like 75 pounds, so they're extremely heavy. On April 29th episode, the competition ensued, which Sting admitted that Sheik had won, leading to a match between the two at Music City Showdown. On May 7th, the two faced off and Sheik was defeated by the TV champion Sting. In August 1989, he would form a brief alliance with Ron Simmons, appearing in his corner during a match with John Brewer. He would appear later that month in the corner of Simmons and the Cuban Assassin, and a victory over Tommy Rich and Eddie Gilbert. Somebody had sent me a question about the Sheik or something like that and asked me if it was Jack. The Cuban Assassin was Jack. Excuse me, my voice is going. The Cuban Assassin was Jack. But anyway, I knew that and I couldn't think for the life of me. Man, my voice is killing me. I got lost again. Okay. Cuban Assassin and a victory over Tommy Rich and Eddie Gilbert. On August 26th, Simmons and Sheik were guests of Paul E. Dangerously's Danger Zone, where he admitted that he was now training Simmons and was looking for a tag team partner for him. The angle was eventually dropped, and Simmons went on to team with Butch Reed as Doom, while Sheik finished his initial WCW tenure in house shows matches against Norman in January of 1990. The Iron Sheik returned after a 7-month absence following Ole Anderson's elevation to head booker. A lapse in issuing a contract notice allowed Sheik's 1-year deal to accidentally roll over and continue to work with the company. On July 7th, the Great American Bash in 1990, he faced Mike Rotundo in a losing effort in his first match back. He wrestled Brian Pillman, Tom Zink, Terry Taylor, Brad Armstrong, and Big Van Vader on the house show circuit throughout the fall and winter of 1990. His final match was against the Junkyard Dog on January 26, 1991 in Columbia, South Carolina, after which he left the company. His third return to the WWE, 91 of 92, he returned to the WWF again on March 11th of 1991, making his re-debut on Wrestling Challenge as Colonel Mustafa, and was aligned with former enemy Sergeant Slaughter. Along with Iraqi General Adnan, Slaughter and Mustafa were portrayed as Iraqi sympathizers during the Gulf War and feuded with Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. Following Slaughter's face turn after SummerSlam of 1991, Mustafa remained aligned with Adnan. He dropped to a lower mid-card position, primarily losing matches against faces such as Slaughter, Tito Santana, British Bulldog, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Texas Tornado Kerry Von Erich, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and Tatanka. Mustafa would challenge for the WWF World Championship during the star-studded 1992 Royal Rumble match. Shortly thereafter, Adnan left the WWF, and Mustafa would be without a manager for his final 4 months with the company. His final match was at the Superstars taping on May 19th of 1992, where he defeated Reno Riggins, after which he left the promotion again. In his later career from 92 to 2010, sporadic appearances in the WWFE. In late 1996, the Sheik teamed with his old nemesis Bob Backlund to manage WWF wrestler The Sultan, who he had a Middle Eastern gimmick. He would manage Sultan until December of 97. He also, for a time, during the summer of 97, co-managed Tiger Ali Singh with Ali's father, Tiger Jet Singh. By year's end, he had failed another drug test. He has referred to this as a medicine test in various interviews and was released. I'm trying to remember who it was that told the story. It may have been Dutch Mantel that told the story about he had to take a drug test and Vince came to him and told him he had to tell him it was positive. And he said, "Oh, good, boss. Good, boss. That means good. The positive's good." He said, "No, unfortunately, it's not. We got to let you go." But anyway, little story I remember seeing. Um, his acting career. Let's see. Nope. In 2005, before WrestleMania 21 in Los Angeles, the Iron Sheik was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame by his longtime rival and former partner, Sergeant Slaughter. On June 11, 2007 episode of Raw, he, along with Jimmy Snuka, appeared in a taped segment showing their appreciation of WWE owner Vince McMahon. On the June 18th episode of Raw, he approached McMahon's executive assistant, Jonathan Coachman, about having his own interview show on Raw. Coach replied saying, "I like the idea and I will really take some time to consider it." His acting career, the Iron Sheik made his film debut in The Tale of the Three Mohammeds in 2005. He then appeared alongside Daniel Baldwin and Corey Feldman in Operation Belvis Bash in 2011. Sheik also made an appearance on the Canadian show Kenny vs. Spinney on the Who is a Better Pro Wrestler episode, where he attempted to sodomize a naked Spinney with a beer bottle. Oh my God, I'd have to see that. I might have to look that up. He also appeared in Maz Jobrani's 2009 stand-up comedy special, Brown and Friendly. The Sheik made an appearance as himself in Robot Chicken, as well as Eric Andre's show on Cartoon Network's Adult Swim. In 2014, the Iron Sheik acted in a documentary about his life titled The Sheik. And I'm going to go down to the last picture I got. Bam, we're going to change that one. And that's WrestleMania. All right. In his personal life, Bazari was a shy Muslim. With a soldier in the Imperial Iranian Army, he married American Carl Peterson. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Caryl. Carol. I guess that's a weird name, way to spell it. Carol Peterson on March 21st, 1976. The best man at the wedding was Mean Gene Oakling, whom the Sheik often referred to as Gene Mean in his broken English. Gene Mean, I can see him saying that. His eldest daughter, Marissa Jean Bazari, died at the age of 26 while dating Charles Reynolds. After her death, Charles had become a convicted felon and died in 2016. Wow. All right, now we're all the way down here to the end. Almost time for video. In August 2013, Iron Sheik's managers, Paige and Wayne Megan. I ain't real sure how to pronunciate that. PJ, I'm sure you can pronunciate this one. Crowdsourced $40,441 to write, direct, and produce a documentary, Iranian Legend, The Iron Sheik. Originally, the documentary was scheduled for a 2008 release under the title Iron Sheik. From A to Z, Sheik's documentary was released in 2014 under the title The Sheik. On November 6th, Bazari challenged the then mayor of Toronto, Rob Ford, to an arm wrestling match at his office. Starting in the late 2000s, Vazari's became known for his Twitter account, which features violent, profanity-ridden tweets denouncing various pop culture events that coincide with his days in the wrestling verse. He did not write the tweets himself. His managers, I ain't sure how to pronunciate that, and Paige Majan handled the account. Vazari died at his home on June 7th, 2023, at the age of 81. And yes, I know y'all can hear me ruffling my paper. Okay, guys, there we are. And that is on the Iron Sheik. And that concludes this week's show on him. Anybody got any comments? Oh, there we go. PJ said something. I'm going to put this up on the screen. Ta-da. The Persian Club Challenge. Is it really so hard to do it, or is it just kayfabe that no one else can do it? No. When I saw him at TV one day, or maybe in the Coliseum, they really are that heavy. They weigh like 75 pounds, and you got to have extreme balance. And the key is, if you notice, if you've ever watched him, he starts out swinging, and he gets the momentum up where he can stand him up like this. That's the starting point of where you start going over your head and going back and forth. You got to have extreme good tendons, very strong tendons, and you got to have the muscles in your shoulders, your arms, your tricep, your bicep. I mean, it really is that hard. I have seen some people reach down and try to pick them up, and they can't. But no, that really is that is something that's extremely hard to do. That's sort of like taking a 10-pound sledgehammer, for instance. Not very many people can do this, but take your arm and grab it and pick it up and hold it straight out. It's hard to do, especially 10 pounds. You'd think, oh, 10 pounds ain't nothing. Each one of his clubs weighed 75 pounds. So, yeah, it really is a challenge. And you got to be in, like I said, fantastic shape in order to do that. Now we are at the point of the video, and I've got to bring that up. Ta-da! And I'm in the wrong folder. Nope. Open that, blame it. Randy Hill stuff's coming up. Why is that coming? There it is. Iron Sheik. Boom. This is of the Iron Sheik when he was on TV. And where'd it go? It's got to be down here at the bottom. Yep. There it is. Okay. And like I said, this interview starts in progress. It's back in 1982, and we're going to take a look at that right now.
Over Jerry. Both challenge with all the American people, and I'm here 4 weeks. And I'm sick and tired to come from Tehran, Iran, 10,000 miles, greatest wrestling country in the world, and I have to wrestling with bunch of punks like Roy Roger, or another one Bobby Fulton, or another one Dutch Mantel. I beat him so bad he have to leave the area, and now I'm looking for one thing. I'm looking only for that Southern heavyweight belt, whatever who have it. What is his name, that big guy? Kamala or King Cobra. I'm here just to show all American the Iron Sheik is the greatest, the best, the toughest. Maybe I'm not one of the toughest, but you know, and my manager know, all you American know, I'm the toughest. That's because I do my club before my match. I beat the American Punk, and also I can do my club after I beat the American Punk. I can do it again. And I tell you people, I wish, swear to Ayatollah Khomeini, to that Iranian hand as much as soon get to you, Mr. King Jerry Lala, Bell Dundee, or another one, Steve Court Punk, or another kid, if he come walk in the Tehran Avenue, I'm talking about Stan Lee. Can you imagine Stan Lee come walk in the Tehran Avenue? The people think must be he come from some kind of bar in the San Francisco. Can you imagine he call himself, or that Steve Court Punk, he takes down couple amateur wrestling in the high school. He call himself, he's a professional wrestler. Listen, Daddy, or listen, you punk. Can you imagine if you get to wrestling with the Sheik? I'm going to show you who is the toughest, who is the shooter. What kind of international compete you had, Mr. Steve Core? What kind of Russia you been? What kind of Tehran you been?
I like his accent too, PJ.
I'm going to do my club for last time.
Now, pay real close attention, PJ, since you asked that question. The clubs are right there in front of him. Watch how he starts when he goes back and forth.
American wrestler. I pray to Ayatollah somebody have a guts to come to my club, because I'm sick and tired about bunch of football player and basketball player, high school punk kids. Nobody have a guts to come try at my club. And I'm looking, maybe somebody can show up sooner or later. I pray to Ayatollah to find out how much he have a guts. This is the last time I'm going to do the club.
Okay, here are those incredible clubs that the Iron Sheik has. These things, bear in mind, weigh 75 pounds apiece. And he's made the flat-out challenge. He will double any amount that anybody can do, or give him $5,000, and he has yet to have anybody be able to do it. I'm not that stupid, Jimmy. The Iron Sheik pumping away with those clubs, and I gotta tell you, it is just not all conversation. He can do it, and he just showed you right now.
You know,
and he's got a match coming up here, and he did it before.
You know, lads, I'm sick and tired about all American wrestlers, included that big man from Texas. I hope that big dummy have a guts to come try.
Okay, well, you get in the ring. You got a match in there right now as the Iron Sheik will be jumping in with, I tell you what, Ron, I think a lot of people, and they've mentioned it to me at the matches, they would love for you to try it. Wait just 1 second. Let's get the official introductions.
It'll be one full 15-minute time limit match. From Nashville, Tennessee, 217, Roy Rogers. From Tehran, Iran, the Iron Sheik. Referee Jerry Calhoun.
Okay, Davey.
Let me interrupt you right here. You know, clubs, he says they weigh 75 pounds apiece. Well, Russell,
That
I
is
work
correct,
out in the
Gregory.
gym. I'm a
It is
500
Ron
pound
Bass.
bench presser. And regularly I work out with 450 pounds. I'm talking about reps. Now, 75 pounds is nothing to me. You know as well as I do that I could get out there and do it. Well, I'm going to tell you, the man's got my curiosity up just a little bit. I believe what the whole problem here is, Russell, is the balance on the things. The things are long, look like they're about 2.5, 3 foot long, and the balance looks like all the weights in the top. You got to learn how to balance. Just a little bit of practice, a little bit of control, and anybody can do it probably, I bet. Tell you what I'm going to do, Russell.
I would love to see.
I'm not mistaken, I was at
I think
TV
I'm going
that
to step
day.
right out there and just see what I can do with him, friend.
Well, I will be interested in seeing it. I don't know whether you can get the camera with Ron some way or another. In the corner, Ron Bass stepping out from behind as the Iron Sheik is in there. Bass playing around with him, and let's see if we can, we'll
There he is. He is going to give it a shot.
Ron Bass picking up the clubs as the Iron Sheik is working on Roy Rogers in this one fall 15 minutes. There's the big guy out of Pampa, Texas. He takes him up in the air. The Sheik coming out of the ring. And look at Bass. He's got him up in the air. And the Iron Sheik banging away at him in there. Jay Hart, get this guy back in the ring where he belongs. Somebody... Ron Bass slammed, and the Sheik with that club bangs him in the head. Come on, Jimmy, get this guy back out of here now. Bass was in the... Holy mackerel. Roy Rogers stopped him. He got his attention. Oh, the Sheik's going after him. And the Iron Sheik laid Ron Bass out as he hit him. What? Hey, Ron is down at her. He hit him with one of these clubs in here. Ron. No. Hey, don't try to go back in there, man. You may have a concussion. Come on, Ron. Wait. Don't get in there. Give me some help out here, will you? This guy is hurt. Eddie. Hey, Dave, can you get the microphone? Yeah.
All right. Lawler and Dundee in here. This one's over.
Well, just imagine PJ trying to grab and hold 75 pounds and try to pull it. I mean, your momentum. I mean, it probably did knock him upside the head.
Let's just go right into that. Jerry the King Lawler, of course, as most of you know out there, ended up losing his title, his Southern Heavyweight title, to Kendo Nagasaki, who, and for those who were there, they saw it. You watch this guy. As big as he is, watch how quick he is, man. And I want to tell you what, the King had the battle of his life on his hands. Let's take a look at it.
Now let's take a look at it. I love Lance. I don't think this has anything to do with the Iron Sheik, but it's in the video. I didn't edit it. I guess you'd like to finish watching this one with Lawler, PJ. Who's that? Who's that coming, PJ? Who is it? It's your favorite.
Crowd starting
I like
chant.
Dylan. He's a good guy. You like that there, did you,
Southern
PJ?
heavyweight title battle. Kendo Nagasaki defending against the former longtime holder of the title, Jerry the King Lawler. Oh, Whale Lawler right in the chops that time. Wait a minute. Lawler back in the corner. Takes another shot. He reversed his directions. Fired in. Plants an elbow. Nagasaki really bending that hand back.
I don't remember him, actually.
Clubs him with a right.
I remember Kabuki.
But Nagasaki goes after the pressure point under Lawler's left arm. The official 5-minute toll is gone. We've got 50. Well, no, it's a no time limit, no disqualification. Lawler connects with a right, puts Nagasaki on his knees.
He may have. May very well have.
Again, zings it in there. Woo. There's the 10-minute call in this no time limit match. Lawler shoots a right hand, but Nagasaki goes right into a side headlock and then for the throat slams Lawler back down on the canvas. Kendo Nagasaki, the Southern heavyweight champion. Look at that foot fired out there. Woo. Followed by another and a knee and a chop to the back of the neck.
May very well been. I can't remember that far back on some things.
The King trying to battle his way back up. Out of that sleeper. Is on his feet. The crowd trying to cheer him on. We're 13 minutes in. Lawler with a big elbow. Goes to the tights, pulls out that chain, and he
Not Jerry. He wouldn't use a chain. He wouldn't cheat.
But still on his feet is
Trying to get a reaction
Kendo
out of you,
Nagasaki. He blocks
Ooh.
Lawler, shoots a quick chop to the side of the neck. Oh, boy. Oh, Kendo Nagasaki.
Kendo looks like he's whooping the crap out of him.
Big chop, and Lawler draped on the rope. The King, we've seen him in trouble a lot of times, but never with a guy who just can strike you from so many places. Lawler has got to make a last ditch here at 16 minutes in. He stings him with a right. Another one. Over the shoulder. And now he's pounding on Nagasaki. From the rope with that fist. Oh, boy. He buried it into nothing but canvas, and Nagasaki back on his feet again. There's a cover, one.
That's interesting
two,
information
and
there.
Lawler saved it.
Gregory.
Got his leg over the rope. Misses the top. Lawler suplexing back.
Belly to black suplex. I like that move. All right, guys. That is the video of the Iron Sheik and Lawler. And I wasn't planning on showing that part of it, but I didn't really want to stop it. Gregory White says that there is, or were, two kendos. The other was English. What do you think about that, Thomas? Do you remember that? By any chance? Yes, I love that too, PJ. I love the oohs and the ahs. That means they was getting into it. I like that part. Let me ask a question. Anybody want to come on with me? I invite guests. Anybody. If you do, that's fine. If you don't, that's all right too. But I do like for you to comment. Oddly, no, I didn't. I didn't know that either. I vaguely remember the name, but I didn't know one of them was English. I thought that was pretty interesting. Anyway, I like everybody being on Wayne's World, even though I only have 3 people, but that's cool. Nobody on YouTube, nobody on the main page, and nobody on Twitch. I don't care. All right, guys. No, there was one other thing I wanted to do. To just see how this works. I'm still learning things. All right, now you can hear it. I turn it up. It's like background music. It's one of the things in this program that I haven't done yet, which I thought was pretty cool. But anyway, I just wanted to do it just see if it worked. I'm still learning things, like I said. Anyway, guys, it's supposed to last an hour and a half. Anybody got any more comments or anything? And I do appreciate everybody coming out and being with me tonight. And give me your thoughts. Sound like Baby Come Back. No, I don't know what it was. It's like free chill hip hop or something they called it. Something like that. It's just music. I was trying to figure out a way to download music where I could play it like for the background music, but it don't work. I can't get that to come in, which I thought was still pretty cool. Add source, background music. I got chill, down tempo, lounge music, hip hop, lo-fi, chill hop, which is what I played, ambient, and future pop. So let's do hip hop, see what that is. That'll be pretty cool. As soon as it finds it and loads it, it'll be easy. Yes, I did. I met him one time. There's the hip hop. I'm just kidding. I'm just being silly. All right. Thank you, PJ. I do appreciate it. Yes, Thomas, I did meet Eddie Graham once when I was down in Florida. I thought, I had no idea who he was after the fact, um, and what all he did do for the wrestling business, and all the kayfabe and all the different things. But he had his demons as well, that I found out later on in life, and unfortunately, it happens that way. I'm also I'm working on a new opening for the show, and I'm also got some other graphics and different things I'm working on. And I also got my one right here, my newest graphic. I like that one. Just doing things, trying to change things up a little bit, be different. I got to redo my opening. I do know that, and I can go ahead and take the Iran flag off. Remove. Okay, now. And I got to go back and do all my sources and all my presentations and take all that stuff off and get ready to do the next one. Don't know what I'm going to do next. Anybody out there got any ideas? There's a Dark Side of the Ring episode on the Grams. Saw part of it. I didn't see all of it. I started watching and then ended up going to sleep. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for tonight, and I'm going to cut it short about 27 minutes because I've been on here an hour and 3 minutes, which don't really matter. I mean, if somebody's got a question or something, I'll stick around for a little bit longer. If not, I will see y'all again next Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Don't know who I'm going to have for my bio stuff that I do on the different guys, but I'm thinking very, very seriously about doing somebody. I ain't sure yet who I want to do. But anyway, got all kind of different things going on. And next Wednesday, I've got my thing with Adobe, which I'm sort of excited about, sort of scared because I ain't real sure what to expect. But it ought to be fun. Anyway, guys, this has been the show on the Iranian or the Iron Sheik, Hussein Khosrow Ali Fazari. He was born 3rd 1942, died 6/7/2023. Anyway, guys, I do appreciate everybody coming out, and I appreciate everybody making your comments. And till then, guys, we will see y'all next Thursday night. If you have any questions or anything, be sure you email me or send me a messenger or something where I can have questions. And if you want to see somebody in particular, just let me know, please. All right, guys, for Wayne's World, this is Greg Wayne saying so long, everybody.